This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Miz, along with Maurice, gets drafted to SmackDown by his old nemesis, Daniel Bryan. So the Intercontinental title is going with him. And at SummerSlam, he's going to successfully defend against Apollo Crews. We should take a time out here, though, to talk about the whole Miz, Daniel Bryan biz. They last encountered each other in a match when Miz lost the U.S. title to Bryan. Of course, both eventually became main event stars. Both main evented WrestleMania. But unfortunately, Bryan was forced into retirement in early 2016. And Miz is going to continue his in-ring career while Bryan becomes the GM of SmackDown. With reservation, Bryan is going to draft Miz over to SmackDown. And then that famous episode we talked about of Talking Smack happened in late August 2016. And that's such a moment where Bryan is sort of attacking Miz's wrestling style and saying he wrestles like a coward. And Miz just blows a gasket and cuts one of the promos of his life. What do you remember about seeing that segment and how viral it went with fans?
Well, it was real.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that made it work. I didn't believe these two cats were bullshitting me. I didn't believe they were, hey, brother, doing a wrestling promo. I felt like they were talking realistically and honestly to me, and they were bearing their soul because you couldn't find two guys. Again, I mentioned this earlier, Conrad, and for a lot of the guys, this stuff really counts. How did you get here?
Right.
Well, let me tell you how I got here. So my journey was a lot harder than yours. You've been privileged. You've been given a silver spoon here. You've become one of Vince McMahon's favorites. And some of us who are 5'8" have had to work like crazy people to even get an opportunity to show what we could do in the ring. Because it was obvious, Conrad, that once Daniel Bryan got the chance to play, he could play as big and as impressively as anybody that's ever laced boots. So I look at this situation this way. Miz and Daniel Bryan may have all had different philosophies. I don't know what was real, what was Memorex, but I do know that Miz got better and had the opportunity to get better every time he was around and interacting with Daniel Bryan. It couldn't help but get better because Daniel Bryan's got a gear, he's got another gear, he's got a third gear. He's so skilled that you can't help but get better unless you just shit the bed and go to the house. And Miz didn't do that. So I think working with Daniel Bryan was one of the great things for Miz's career to improve his game and his level of intensity. That's what I always thought Miz was lacking a little bit, was a little bit of the level of intensity and physicality. And working with Daniel Bryan, you have to rise up because he's not going to lower his game as far as intensity and physicality is concerned to give you a break.
At Backlash, Miz is going to successfully defend against Dolph Ziggler. At No Mercy, he finally loses the belt to Dolph Ziggler, but he wins it back on the 900th episode of SmackDown in November. He's going to successfully defend at Survivor Series, and then he's going to beat Ziggler in a ladder match in December at TLC, and that effectively ends their feud. But gosh, it felt like Miz and Ziggler just wrestled every month there for a couple years.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.